And welcome everyone. Welcome to the AEPA pre-bid conference call for lawn and groundskeeping equipment. And I am Jane Easties, and I'm the bid coordinator and chair of the solicitation committee for AEPA. And I'm joined by Lisa Truax, who is one of our bid managers, and by Ted Witt, who is the chair of the committee for this particular solicitation. So AEPA is in bid number 24, and we have 8 different categories. This is one category for bid number 24. And I'm just going to start today with just a little bit of an overview of AEPA, and then I'll turn it over to Ted to talk about this particular category, since that committee wrote these specifications. And then we'll open it up to all of you. This is your chance, your call to ask questions. This is a rebid category, and so some of you may be somewhat familiar with AEPA, but I think there's some new faces and names. So, so I just want to not take a lot of time, but just quickly do an update. And again, as Lisa said, this call is being recorded, so we will put the recording up on public purchase in the next day or two once all of these are completed. So if AEPA is new to you, the Association of Educational Purchasing Agencies is a 29 state group that has been working together since the year 2000. So as I said, this is our 24th bid with multiple categories that we've done. There's one agency from each one of the 29 states who sits on the board of AEPA. We're largely a volunteer organization, although we do have a paid executive director, George Wilson, and bid managers who help us through the whole bid process. We joined together very successfully these many years ago to both combine our volume, but also to make it much easier for vendors to do the bid process and then have access to a very large volume of public agencies. And since we all have very tight footprints in each one of our states, and we're very well connected, you're working with agencies that have a long and trusted history with all of our members. And our members are public school districts, private schools, cities, counties, and in many cases, we can also use these contracts or nonprofits can also access these contracts. So this is an indefinite quantity, indefinite timing award. So, so our members would go directly to awarded vendors once a contract is done. And our job is to let our members know what contracts are done and that they have been solicited according to state bid laws. Currently, we hold contracts, multiple contracts in 28 different categories. As I mentioned, this is a rebid. We rebid categories every 4 years that are up, and then we add new categories as well. So this is one that we have a history in. We represent well over 700 million in volume running through our contracts in these 28 categories and closing in on $1 billion. So we're bringing a lot of value to vendors, and I'm looking forward to bringing that to you as well. See, the AEPA board, because we are largely voluntary, we meet as a board 2 representatives from each state member twice a year. And we will be meeting again at our winter meeting in the end of November of this year. Otherwise, we operate year-round through a committee structure. You heard me mention the solicitations committee. We're constantly working on the bid documents. There are also individual category committees, and then there are a number of administrative committees. So, so we are operating together year-round. For this particular bid category, what you're most interested in is probably how to access. And if you're not already, you need to access this, you need to be on our online portal, which is called Public Purchase. Public Purchase is a free online bidding portal. Once you're registered, you may see the the option for a paid version. You don't need to do that. You can get on public purchase and get the APA bids without having to pay public purchase. Everything is done electronically. We do accept electronic signatures. And this public purchase is where you can ask questions after this call. This will be your last chance to talk and ask individual questions. But you can go on public purchase and post your questions, and we encourage you to do so. The committee will come up with responses and post those for everyone to see. So everyone will be getting the same information about the bid. You will download the documents. You will see that there are multiple documents. Don't let that intimidate you. I'll just do a quick overview of those. We have tried to lay them out to be as user-friendly as possible. We've laid them out in 6 different parts that you would download. The first 3 parts, parts A, B, and C, are largely informational. So you'll find the full terms and conditions of the bid, bid 24, for all categories in part A. Part B is probably where you spend more of your time, and that is the technical specifications. That's where we've written, or the committee has written, what the scope of work is and what AEPA is looking for on behalf of its members, and how we will evaluate the bid. Part C are the individual state terms and conditions. And then as you get into the second 3 parts, these 3 parts will lead you through your response. Really, will tell you what we're looking for in a response. So there's a required questionnaire, and I would encourage you to read that carefully and answer with as much detail as possible. There may be questions where you're asked to upload additional information, but this is really where we're finding out about you as a vendor, how you're structured, how you're organized, what your marketing plan might be, and so forth. So that required questionnaire is pretty important. Then there are signature forms, which are, I'm sure if you've done many bids, they're always signatures. Since many of our members have access to federal funds, there are some forms such as compliance with the Edgar laws. But otherwise, there's just a few signatures that are needed there. And then the most important, and the last part, is a workbook of Excel forms. And this is where you will tell us what your pricing is, how you do your pricing, what the discounts, what the value to our members might be. So we do ask that you use these Excel. There's lines you can add more into. Give us as much information as you feel that we need. And then the committee will use that for evaluation. Okay, so after this call, again, I think I said this, but we only accept written questions, and the deadline for posting your written questions is August 28th. So please keep that in mind. And responses for this bid are due September 12th at 1:30 Eastern time. So you will upload your response. We don't accept any paper copies, and there is not a bid bond for this category. So everything will be electronic. You would upload your responses to public purchase, and we will close out at 1:30 on September 12th. Open them, look for completeness. Those that are completed will be sent to the category committee for full evaluation. And then you will be notified, those vendors that will be recommended for award will be notified by October 23rd. Okay, so what happens then? So once you're notified, the category committee will also be sending those recommendations to the full board, and they will be presented at the full board meeting in California on November 26th through 27th through 28th. And then the board will vote to accept. At that point, once they've accepted the recommendations, then the vendor would complete the contract with each state. So you will have all those participating states will work with you to complete a contract. And I think at this point, that's the basic information. That's that was a lot. Well, we have some information on our website, and again, we encourage questions on public purchase, but I'm going to turn it over to Ted to talk about this particular category.
Morning, my name's Ted Witt. I'm the representative of the Monterey County Office of Education, who will be awarding this contract in California through its program called CalSave at calsave.org. This category is for lawn and groundskeeping equipment, supplies, and services. I'll let the word lawn feel like you're limited on this, because it actually is a quite extensive array of possibilities for you upon which to bid. We had divided this bid category into 3 different sections, which I call category 1, 2, and 3. The category 1 is for turf and landscaping equipment. It's including but not limited to things like zero-turn mowers, ride-on mowers, wide area mowers, stand-ons, walk-behinds, all the attachable devices that you might need for cutting, irrigation, or detaching, edgers, etc. This is a catalog bid, so it means that we're looking for everything that you would be able to offer us within your commercially available catalog. And commercially available catalog is defined as either your website that's available to a large group of people or public, or even a paper catalog if you're still doing those. Category 2 is for electric tractors and accessories. This is especially important for us in California to have some of these electrical machinery available. And so that's a new category within this lawn and landscaping equipment bid. The third one is for heavy equipment, and this includes not only new but also the ability for used tractors to be sold. Could be gas or diesel. Could be compact tractors, cranes, earth moving equipment, other heavy equipment with the optional accessories that they need, whether they're wheeled or tracked. They could have hydraulic mechanisms for boom lifting, for coal milling, compacting, conveying, crushing, dumping, excavating, grading, scraping, the whole gamut, paving that heavy equipment can do. Especially useful for those participants with AEPA who are from cities and counties, governments, park districts, special districts, cemetery districts, you name it, that would be eligible to be participating with the schools in this particular category. The option for to sell your used equipment is also a new feature of this particular on this year. The people who are eligible to bid you can be a manufacturer or a dealer. You can be a group of dealers together. You can be a dealer who has multiple brands. You can have, if you sell Cat and Kubota and New Holland and whatever else it is, yes, you can sell those brands together as part of your commercially available catalog. Within each category, category 1, category 2, category 3, on the pricing discount workbook, that's part you download from public purchase. There are items that we're asking for you to price so that we can compare your pricing. These core items are listed on tab F2A. And in each category, we've listed some types of products that we would like pricing on. If you do not have this exact model, it's like, for example, in the lawn equipment, we've kind of standardized some core items on Toro. That doesn't mean that you have to have this exact Toro. You can give an equivalent or better of this particular product. Or in one case where we have Bobcat, you can give another comparable compact tractor there, as long as it meets the specifications in terms of horsepower and lift capabilities, etc. and include that as the substitute that you're offering for that particular item. To be successful, to be qualified, you have to give us at least one items on this core list and price it so that we can compare it to other people. Then on that same workbook, on another tab, there is a opportunity to give all other items that are in your catalog. So if you have another 1,000 tractors or lawnmowers that are available, you can add those to your non-core item of the spreadsheet, and you price them and give us the catalog discount that you're giving to us. The first tab of that spreadsheet is a place where you will put the catalog discounts that are going to apply. The last tab is the place where you put the non-core items, all the rest. And in tab 2 is where you price our core items, and you have to have at least one of those available for us to look at. And there might be multiple awards. If you can't cover all 50 states, you can join with other dealers and partners to cover the 29 states and the rest of the nation under this contract. We ask you to include those people who will be participating. There's a section in Part B that explains that you have to give us the names of those people who will be participating with you. Let me go back a little bit for more information on the type of bid. The fact that it's a catalog bid as opposed to a line item bid means that you can sell more under this contract, because all of the rest of the items in your commercially available catalog, including the accessories and supplies, would be available under the contract as well, as opposed to a line item where we just list 20 items and you can only sell those 20 items during the term of the contract. So it's much more flexible for you. Let's see, I define the kinds of terms in part B, so you know what the difference is between a sit-on mower and a walk-behind mower and a stand-on mower and a turn mower. Likewise, we define the definition of heavy equipment. The definitions for tractor are much more limited because there are so much fewer products, but we do ask that electric tractors be able to be sold with accessories that might be available to you as part of your catalog. Let's see. When I talk about used items, we expect that the used items are defined as having at least 1 hour, more than 1 hour's usage on a meter, but they have to be sufficiently maintained, repaired, or upgraded so that the new owner that you're going to sell it to would have a minimum 1-year warranty on the engine, powertrain, electronics, and hydraulics. Go through there, and those. We also have another section this year that will potentially help you if you have a big dealer network. Let's say you're a manufacturer and you go through a dealer, you're going to be selling through your dealers. We invite proposals from you as part of the, this isn't an RFP, this is actually a bid, but you have the option to create a plan with us if you're awarded to let your dealers sell immediately without allow the buyers to get rebates. This is kind of an idea so that they would have top line revenue when they sell, and then the manufacturer could come behind with a rebate kind of to facilitate, give us more ease and selling this, and to incent your dealers to use the contract more. So I think I already told you that you can have multiple brands if you're a dealer. You can have product lines that would be available under the contract as long as they're part of your commercially available catalog. Let's see. There will probably be multiple awards, as I said. And I want to give some advice that this contract helps you break down doors and open opportunities so that you avoid a 30 to 60-day bid process that you would normally have to go through. It does not mean that people are going to come automatically flocking to this contract, because you still need to have a sales network that's going to be involved and trained to help you use this contract as you talk to potential governments, cities, counties, school districts, and involve your dealers if their dealers are going to be involved. But I will tell you that those people who are successful with these kinds of contracts are those that work with the individual states to define those niche markets, find those people, develop campaigns in each particular state, and make sure that the awarded vendors, sales reps are on the street calling along with the whatever the states can do to help you. So you have the advantage of 29 states already, trying to talk up your companies. And so I encourage you to bid. Don't be discouraged by a large amount of forms and documents that there are. I encourage you, if you have to get started quickly. If you have any questions about that, write your questions out immediately so you're not caught behind the deadlines, and so that you can be responsive. We have a lot of people who fill out the bid, have good pricing, but they made a mistake in some paperwork somewhere. They missed a signature, or did not include the pricing, some of the question forms, etc. Make sure there's a kind of a checklist inside this paper, so make sure you do that. Be responsive with all the kind of details. Give us good pricing, and you'll be on the way to a potential award. We're excited about the category because we think there is a great need among cities, counties, school districts, park districts for these kinds of items. It is every school district already has a lawnmower, right? Everyone, they already have some, but they also, every city already has a backhoe and loader, but there are replacement, there's a refresh rate every year, and there are no new needs. And in the areas of electric tractors, there's some mandates and some other requirements that people are going to be buying on. So our imagination on how we help you increase your skills is only limited by how much we think about it and participate together. So I encourage you to bid.
Thanks, Ted. Now we'll open it up. This is a small group, so feel free to just start talking, or you can use the raise hand if you have a question, or you can put your question in the chat.
This is John Tortelli from New Mexico. Ted, is there an option in there for robotic lawnmowers?
Yes, in the category of lawnmowers, yes, there is they can include that in the rest of the catalog products. I can't remember if there's a core item. I don't think there's a core item for that, but it would be in their rest of catalog.
Yeah, I just when I was looking through the Part B, I didn't see anything listed. There
is a in the definition, I think somewhere there is a thing about robotics, but
okay,
we would expect that to be into the rest of catalog.
Yeah, we feel in New Mexico that's going to be a big thing.
Yeah. Also, these robotics not only apply to lawnmowers, but there is an emerging industry of robotics for tractors as well. I don't understand that technology except for agriculture at the moment, but it's eligible to be put in the contract.
Yep, I just want to point out that we do have another question in the chat, so I'll ask it in a second, but we have about 3 minutes of questions. We are running very close to being out of time before the next category starts. So if any questions don't get answered that are in the chat or being asked, we will get those posted to public purchase and get an answer for those posted as well. So just a heads up that we only have like 3 minutes. But the pending question in the chat is, does this contract allow for customers to write their purchase orders directly to an authorized dealer rather than the OEM contract holder?
Yes, exactly. You can do that. You can have a system of dealers for you can win the contract and then sell this through your network of dealers. The purchase orders can be made out to the dealers directly. However, you have to report all those. You have to know that that was part of the contract sale.
Randy Kure Covermaster was looking to learn if surface protection covers can be included in our pricing as
Protection.
well.
I hear covered protection warranties. That's things that you're talking about.
Removable surface covers, rain covers, the like.
Yes, those are options and accessories. They can be included. The terms and conditions specifically addresses those types of items, include them in the rest of the catalog on the last tab of the spreadsheet, part F.
Just a reminder that as you think of questions after this call, post them on public purchase, and the deadline is August 28th. And then all your responses are due September 12th at 1:30 Eastern time. And with that, I believe we're just about out of time. So we want to thank you so much for your time today. I hope this has been helpful, and we really encourage you to respond and hope to hear from you.